Good afternoon and welcome to the Bairns Build-Up as we look forward to another crucial league match here at the Falkirk Stadium in Cinch League 1 as we take on Clyde. Coming up on the programme, we'll be speaking to manager Paul Sheeran ahead of the match this afternoon. Loads of match action from last week and also a previous match against Clyde. And we'll speak to a Wheel Kent face from the South Stand. First up, let's go to midweek and the SPFL Trust Trophy match and Falkirk's first ever competitive game against East Kilbride here at the Falkirk Stadium.
And interestingly, in the absence of Gary Miller, Paul Dixon and Stephen Hetherington, it's going to be Aidan Nesbitt wearing the captain's armband this evening. Nesbitt provides the outlet. Can he catch it? Yes, he can. Good first time cross as well. Omprion takes it down. Chance for Wilson to shoot. Well, not a lot of doubt about that one. Wilson now steps away. Aidan Nesbitt, bang on 18 yards. Well, it was indeed plenty power, as you said, Stuart. Unfortunately, didn't get the direction that he needed. Ball over the top, headed away initially by Lemon.
High feet.
Well, the free kick is given against Krasniki for raising his foot towards Malcolm, but actually looking at that again, Stuart, to me, he actually withdraws from that, lining up his defensive wall. Stevenson, Miller and McIninch stand over this one. A little bit of hesitation there amongst East Kilbride players, not entirely sure what they were trying to do. Malcolm, well, his possession actually falls kindly for Weeks. Goes one way, sends the ball the other around Stevenson. Weeks still going. Ross back to McCann. McCann flights in. Omprion with the header. Well, holds his head in his hands, but sends Wilson scampering down the right channel. His body's in the middle. Takes a little deflection and then, well, with uncertainty reigning, Stephen Saunders takes no chances. Let's see what happens. Falkirk flip it low to Nesbitt. Nesbitt's first time shot from the pre-rehearsed routine rises over the bar. Second shot for Aidan Nesbitt. Important defensive block. Seb Ross is wide to Weeks. Weeks against Stevenson. Weeks goes to the byline. Cross was a good one. Takes a deflection. No. Lemon and Chris Erskine. Falkirk play this one short. Back to McCann. Well, this time the pre-rehearsed move worked well.
If they can move the East Kilbride defence around a bit, then they'll get some joy.
Krasniki to Ross.
Oh, nice ball, nice
Good
ball.
pass from Ross. Splits the defence. Weeks, can he find the supply?
Oh, should have passed first time.
Well, Wilson and Omprion waiting in the middle. Unfortunately, neither could be picked out. Screaming at his teammate. He was waiting on the overlapping run that never came. Falkirk, meanwhile, take possession. They're not hanging about, wondering if they can now punish East Kilbride. Ross finds Nesbitt. Nesbitt gets to the byline, the cross is there, and there is the opening goal. Aidan Nesbitt's cross takes a deflection and ends up in the back of the net. Well, from one end to the other, Falkirk absolutely clinical with the counter-attack. The first deflect cross back to him, and it looks like the white boot of Stephen Old is the unfortunate one as it deflects it into his own net.
Unlucky for the big centre half. I mean,
Lorraine Watson just felt there wasn't enough in that one. Omprion gets something on that pass, diverts it into the path of Seb Ross, cuts in field, opens up for him. Ross lets loose. Brilliant save by Jacob Keane. East Kilbride, number one, flinging himself to his left-hand side, and that is a brilliant save by the keeper.
yeah, good.
Yeah, proper fingertip stuff from the keeper there. Nesbitt flights this one in. Ben Hall, well, gets on the end of it. Unfortunately, meets that one in mid-air. Omprion. Blocked. Falkirk still have it. Nesbitt goes wide. Weeks in support. Weeks with the cross in. Omprion gets a touch. Nesbitt. Well, good save by Jacob Keane. Krasniki with the outside of the boot to Wilson, gets it straight back again and then immediately switches play to Weeks. Weeks plays it early. Nesbitt goes to the byline. Good cross in. And then Omprion makes the connection. Stephen Saunders doing just enough. Knew that Omprion was going to get there first. And just put him slightly off balance as Erskine breaks forward. Chance for a shoot. And a good save by Paddy Martin. Keeper gets down to his left-hand side. Just to tip that one round the post. Yeah, Erskine thought he'd scored. Corner kick flighted in. Old with the header, but two hands on the shoulders of Ben Hall.
The only difference you notice, obviously, with having Paddy Martin in goals is obviously not as tall as the Falkirk number one. As Falkirk going the counter attack.
Good play by Seb Ross.
Yes,
Paddy Martin
yes.
flips it over, and the goalkeeper has gone and got himself an assist. Sebastian Ross just lifts it nicely over the advancing Jacob Keane, and suddenly Falkirk double their lead.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you there, folks, but yeah, it was wonderful play. Route one a little bit. First time Falkirk's done Route one all game actually, and Seb Ross getting the second goal, well deserved.
Well, simple as you like.
Has done well. You can see seems to be a Swiss Army knife at the moment for Falkirk. Williamson, tell him to play in that position, he'll do it no problem. I mean, as you said, he played left back up at Cove and now playing right back, and he looks as comfortable in both positions.
Yeah, I just think for his second ever start in senior football, being asked to play, well, I'll come back to that in a second, as Aidan Keena bursts through, taken down
Red
unceremoniously.
card has to
There's
be.
only going to be one outcome. The substitute is in trouble. The free kick rightfully awarded. Falkirk fans booing loudly. They're waiting on the red card. It was outside the box. It is the right decision for...
Yeah, but it should be a red card. I'm sorry, that's a red card. Goal scoring opportunity.
Interestingly, the referee hasn't even spoken to the player about that. That's the most confusing bit for me, but meanwhile, Keena steps up. And there is the killer third goal for the Bairns. Keena doesn't hang about, just takes care of business. Substitute, finding the back of the net, the low strike, giving Jacob Keane absolutely no chance. Falkirk 3, East Kilbride 0.
Talked about him.
Stephen Old's clearance is a poor one, straight to Hetherington. Weeks reverses it, now Telfer. Falkirk still have it, 25 yards from goal. The ball through to Weeks, the low shot. Not a bad effort from Ben Weeks. Morrison, back to Williamson. Thumps it forward. Seb Ross, the only man there. Oh, good play by Seb Ross, so tees up Weeks.
Oh, well, kept going.
Ross takes over, he's got Morrison at the back post, can he find him? Morrison, chance to shoot. Well, could have been number 4, a yard wide of the post.
But Falkirk as well have pressed in the second half, and they've not let down.
Gio Veza with a chance. And the referee, well, points to the spot. Falkirk fans furious given the decision at the other end with no card against McCluckie. Stevenson steps up, right-footed, saved by the keeper. Well, if you're going to make your debut, a goal assist and a penalty save is the way to do it. Telfer tries the direct option, looking for Morrison as Falkirk try to stretch the game. Can he find the delivery? Comes in field instead to Telfer. A little cute through ball, finds Morrison, the cutback's there. And good defending by McCluckie. Lorraine Watson says, right on the 90 minutes, enough is enough. Well, bringing proceedings to an end fairly promptly. You have to say, based on the second half performance, Stuart, with all due respect to the visitors tonight.
So, a good win for the Bairns against East Kilbride in our first match against Kilby, and a great performance by some of our younger players in the squad as well. Next up, let's go back to last Saturday in Cinch League 1, and a match that no Falkirk fan would be looking forward to given their recent form against Airdrieonians. But things were about to change, as you'll see from last week's match. Commentary from Stuart McCafferty and Lewis Connolly.
turned by McCabe. Robbie Much gives a big shout and a good take by the Falkirk keeper. Tries to find Aidan Nesbitt. Oh, great control by Nesbitt. Turns away from Smith. Finds Keena. Keena tees up Morrison. Chance to shoot. Well, on his weaker left foot. Blocked well by Scott Walker.
Long raking ball towards Leon McCann.
Yep, McGill gets the better of McCann. Finds Easton. Easton hits the shot. Takes a deflection. Behind for another corner. Good little spell the last 5 minutes for Airdrie. Easton flighted in. Big shouts there. Still active, and then, well, could have and indeed maybe should have been.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you watched last night the Arsenal-Brentford game, and Brentford's second goal effectively came from something very similar. Where you've got the forward who is not doing anything as Falkirk go on the counter-attack, but we'll go back to that in a second. That you found it. Oh, as Falkirk pick it up, Nesbitt heads into the box, cuts inside, has a shot. Oh, flicking! Oh yes, goal Falkirk! Callum Morrison. 27 minutes on the clock. It's Airdrie 0, Falkirk 1.
Well, cool, composed finish from Callum Morrison, and good play down the left flank by the Bairns. Well, they had a let off just 15-20 seconds ago. If you're going to respond to it, that's the perfect way to do it. Falkirk making their way down the park, having the strike. Curry could only...
Robbie Much, he's not fouling him, he's just standing there, so
Yep, Smith.
Falkirk need to watch that.
It's Aidan Keena with the defensive header. And then Charlie Telfer happy just to thump that one down the field for Katongo. Poor clearance from Katongo. Can Falkirk take advantage? Nesbitt tries to find Keena as Falkirk go on the counter again. Keena cuts in field. Great shot! What a goal by Falkirk! Second clinical counter-attack in as many minutes. Keena cuts inside. What a finish, Aidan Keena.
Take a bow, son, take a bow, as somebody would say. As you say, counter-attack goals. As we get high fives and punches from the Falkirk fans. Yeah, just a great cut inside from Aidan, left foot, curled it round the keeper. I thought it was going past myself. I thought there was a curl.
You know
I thought it
we
was
were
going
right
past,
behind the line. Knowing the next one will test Falkirk's nerve if they can get it. Next goal, all important. Hetherington turns into trouble and he's gone. And just like that, the game changes. Stephen Hetherington, the captain, sent off. Well, 1 minute to go before the half-time interval. Move to left centre mid as Airdrie look to make the man advantage count as McGill bursts into space, takes on McCann. Good tackle from McCann. This time he does get the better of McGill. Fordyce, poor clearance, shows too much of that to Keena. McGuffey finds Morrison, he's got Nesbitt on the overlap. Nesbitt with the chance to shoot. The save by Curry. Fordyce does enough. Imagine Airdrie with all the time in the world at the back now. They go long towards McGill. Nodded down, the shot is there. A great save by Robbie Much. Brilliant save by the Falkirk keeper. Tips that one round his left hand post.
Leon McCann.
Corner kick comes in. Big shout from Much, seems to be bundled over. Falkirk can't clear their lines. McGuffey against Easton. Easton flights in, good delivery, well read by Mackenzie Lemon. Well, elsewhere we can tell you Clyde 0, Airdrie 0. Clyde 0, Alloa 0, apologies. Got Airdrie on the brain at the moment. As Airdrie do break forward with Frizzell. Lemon just does enough to hold him up. Good ball in though, chance to get one back, must be, and is! No mistake from McGill. Time and space. Looking at it, good ball over the top. Well, unfortunately, defender just going to ground. And interestingly, Watson, the centre half, was spent the last few minutes up with his attackers. Leon McCann again over his head. Cammy Smith, the beneficiary. chance for Gallagher to shoot. Now, McCabe. Well, same move every time, paying dividends for Airdrie.
It's basically just to keep your centre halves true. The Airdrie centre halves, that is.
Morrison goes down. Omprion. Well, chance to get a third for the Bairns. Unfortunately, couldn't direct the header. I think it was in defence. Watson tries to take on Morrison, thinks better of it. Airdrie just doing the old side to side. Good chip ball in, 2-on-1 at the back post. Must be. Great save by Robbie Much.
Great save, Robbie.
Really should have been. Well, whether the ball just wouldn't quite sit down. McCann over the top. Morrison breaks the offside trap. He's all on his own though. Omprion makes his way into the middle. Morrison goes past one. Breaks into the box. Can't be touched now. Well, weaved left, right. Got himself the angle. Unfortunately, just off balance. Charlie Telfer happy just to play it into the channel.
Has to be
Falkirk
now.
actively asking the referee how much longer is there to go here. Played long. Frizzell goes to the byline. Decent cross in. And the header lands on the roof of the net. And there goes the full-time whistle. Finally, 95 minutes played. Not entirely sure where the extra time came from, but Falkirk fans at the moment not caring. They've played for over half the game, reduced to 10 men, taken everything that Airdrie could throw at them, and the points are heading back to Westfield.
Indeed. Great play from Falkirk. Great second half performance. Great courage, great conviction. Good substitutions as well. They happened at the right time. Robbie Much there, saluting the Falkirk fans. Paul Sheeran managed to do a big sprint there. Didn't see him coming in from the right hand.
The teamwork this afternoon was incredible, and that siege mentality that they showed in that second half is exactly why they're taking those points home.
As you were saying, Lewis, it's just exactly what the Falkirk fans want. They want to see a team that fights and scraps and goes for everything, which, let's be honest, wasn't the greatest football match today, but the guys, especially those last 30 minutes, when they had their job to do, when Airdrie scored that goal just after half-time.
So the hoodoo is over for the Bairns after many years, and any revenge that Airdrie had after that 8-0 win over Airdrie at Brockville when the fans walked to the stadium seems to be well and truly over, and jubilant scenes from the Falkirk fans in the away stand on Saturday. So how does that leave the league table? And it's already shaping up to be an exciting campaign with wins for all the pre-season title contenders. Falkirk in third, joint top with Montrose and Queen's Park, who've only conceded one goal so far this season. Looking at the Bairns' goal tally, and that's 5 league goals scored, with Callum Morrison and Aidan Keena adding to their totals last Saturday. So Callum Morrison tops the total goals scored with 3 so far. Aidan Nesbitt, Paul Dixon and Aidan Keena just behind on 2. Next up, let's get the thoughts of head coach Paul Sheeran ahead of this afternoon's match with Clyde as he speaks to Andy Thompson.
Well, Paul, last time we spoke, you've had 3 games, 3 wins. This management stuff's easy, isn't it?
If only. Didn't feel like that for a second 45 minutes at Airdrie. No, the boys have been good. I can't complain. I know there's a long way to go and I'm not getting too carried away with myself. It's very early. But it was nice to see Saturday a different style of performance. We had to really roll our sleeves up and dig deep, and to a man I think we've done that. Obviously after a sending off it was always going to be difficult, albeit I thought they actually started the game better than us and we probably scored against the run of play, but they ask questions of you, they throw things in the box, long throws, corners, so for us to stand up to that was really pleasing and see a totally different side to us than we have done in previous games.
Now, the last interview you said you were going to mix it up against East Kilbride. You did that and you brought in some youngsters. They didn't let you down, did they?
No, they were excellent. They've actually excelled all the younger ones up to now. I think it was 7 21 and under against a really experienced East Kilbride team, and some of the stuff we played again was really pleasing. Passed the ball well, moved well. So no, again, really pleased with that younger group. They're certainly helping the squad at the moment in terms of giving me headaches at certain times. So it can only bode well for the future, that.
And one in particular, Mackenzie Lemon, I mean, for a youngster of his age, his maturity, both on the playing side and on the way he handles the media, is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been good. Again, thrown in at the deep end. Thought he was decent against East Kilbride once he got the flow of the game. He's not played a lot of football over the last 18 months, again, obviously with COVID issues. So for him to come in and play 290 minutes the way he did was really pleasing. I love the way he just wants to defend. It's a dying art in the game now, but Mackenzie seems to be one of very few that actually want to do it nowadays. So it's good to see a young boy that wants to put his body on the line, wants to head, wants to tackle. So no, again, another one that can be really pleased with his work up to now.
And also one that's not fazed by taking the ball under pressure and playing his football.
No, it's the way we play. It's the way we want to build for the back. So there's an onus on centre backs, full backs to take the ball in tight areas and be brave in possession. Goalkeeper comes into that as well, obviously. So it's vital if they want to develop at the football club that they need to be brave enough to go and get on the ball and take that.
It was good to see Aidan Keena's goal on Saturday. Having watched it about 300 times, I mean, it's a fantastic strike.
It was a brilliant finish. It seemed to take an eternity to drop into the net, but Keena's got that wee bit half yard and gets his shots off, gets in good areas. So really pleased, 2-2 for him, obviously. So hopefully that builds confidence. Another one that's suffered pre-season through injury and isolation through COVID, but now that he's up and running, hopefully he can continue to find the net.
Now Anton Dowds has gone off to Arbroath. Thinking behind that?
Just that Wells playing one striker. Anton probably suffered for that. We bring in young Sam in with real pace and energy at the top end of the pitch, and that's not to take anything away from Anton's work ethic. He's worked extremely hard since I came into the club, but 4 doesn't really go into 1.
Big game on Saturday, of course. They all are here at the Falkirk Stadium against Clyde. Can we go on and win that one?
Well, that's the plan. I think we need to try and make this place a fortress as much as we can. We need to start games quick, real high tempo, high energy, and get the fans on board as quick as we can and get them behind us, because that generates an atmosphere for the players as well. So we do all we can week to week to prepare for Saturday at 3 o'clock and hope that we've done enough preparation to help us win football matches.
And the fans here at the Falkirk Stadium is a different place, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously I've never experienced last season in terms of no crowds, but we all know how difficult it was at every other club, so to get them back through the turnstiles is huge for everybody.
And having them at both ends of the park, that also seemed to help as well, because rather than just having it at the one south stand end.
Again, it's something that's brand new to me. I've no dealt with it in the past in terms of crowds here at Falkirk Stadium, but for me it doesn't matter where they've been up to now. I think they set their tone at Cove, away at Cove, when their support kind of drove us forward and sharing that goal with them, that first league goal that we get through Nizzy, and since then they've continued to support us, and I know there'll be hard times, and we just hope that they stick with us in the hard times.
And you went across to celebrate them with them against Airdrie, and that was much appreciated by them all.
Yeah, just the emotion of the game. Probably a bit more carried away than I would have liked looking back at it. But I'm an emotional person, and the way the game went and the fact we held out, and it was a tough afternoon, and the heart rate was through the roof. Just the emotion got the better of me with that, really.
And against Clyde you're hoping for less emotion but the same result?
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, I look forward to it, Paul. Thanks again.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks very much.
Paul Sheeran there with his thoughts of the match this afternoon. So let's take a look at previous encounters against the Bully Wee. The Bairns have won the last 2 outings between the sides, but over the past 5 matches, Clyde have won 3 of those matches. But historically, Falkirk have the upper hand in the league with 68 wins to Clyde's 56 and 13 more wins over the Bully Wee in total. But here's hoping we can match the record win of 6-0 at Brockville back in 1937-38 season. I'm sure we can do it. Time for some more Bairns action now as we take you back to April of this year and our last match here at the Falkirk Stadium against Clyde.
Lewis Nielsen has shifted from his centre-half position midweek to right back as Connor Salmon tries to chase that one, forces Tom Lang into giving away. Well, it's a corner kick, the ball ultimately deflecting off the corner flag, and already the game going end to end. Keena leads out to Romsby, but a good ball over the top sends Salmon away through. The shot just drifts wide of the post. Hopefully that frees up a little bit of space for somebody like Charlie Telfer from a Bairns perspective in the middle, but we'll see how that one develops as Falkirk go over the top. Keena bursts through the defence. Well, sharp goal kicking again by David Mitchell. Good header from Durnan. Alston takes it away from Cunningham, tries the ball over the top. Salmon does well, outmuscles the man. Forced wide but bursts into the box. Good shot and good save from David Mitchell. Alston with the flat delivery, the header for off the line from Durnan. The rebound, blocked again. Third attempt, and then third time lucky for the Bairns. Goal line clearance, the initial header from Mark Durnan. That's what caused all the mayhem in the defence. Cleared off the line, the rebound falling to Kai Fotheringham. He tried his luck from the edge of the box. And see there, it was that header. Fotheringham teed up the shot, the block come back to Fotheringham, and then Ben Hall is the man who delivered the final shot from close range. 9 minutes on the clock. The Falkirk strikers 3 times already in behind the Clyde centre halves. Looks like both of them, but then an immediate chance to equalise. Well, head in his hands. David Goodwillie knows he maybe should have done better. Finds Aidan Keena to Telfer. The ball in Otu. Well, got that one all wrong. He was trying to send that one downfield, sliced it, and thankfully for him, he did slice it, but went past his own post. You can see David Mitchell had a worried look when his defender sliced that one, but the throw in finds Salmon. Down the line, good turn by Morrison, good delivery in as well, straight across, and well, David Mitchell gets that one at the second attempt. He's got Cudahy ahead of him, and that is indeed the option that he uses. Munro flights it in. Hall wins the first header though. Nickel the second. Keena gets something on it, but Otu recovers for Clyde. Drives forward, chance to shoot. Oh well, I think he was looking to slip in Jameson. I have to say, things had opened up nicely. We'll come back to that in a second as Connor Salmon bursts between two. And the shot as well. Well, Craig Napier says shoulder to shoulder was too forceful in the end. David Mitchell sends it long. Ben Hall winning the first header. The second was Cudahy in the follow-up shot. Again, a nice easy one for Robbie Much. A long way to go yet in all the games as Falkirk look to break forward. Morrison takes aim, and well, another good save by David Mitchell. Poor defensive header by Ewan Otu. Certainly nowhere near going back to his goalkeeper with that one. Oh, poor clearance from Lang. Connor Salmon goes past two, stays on his feet, and another good save by David Mitchell. Absolutely furious with his defence again. Good delivery this time. Falls to Salmon, and another good save by David Mitchell, tipping it round the post. Good defending from Lang as well, up against Connor Salmon. Well, side netting for the Bairns. Blair Alston takes this one right-footed. In for McClelland. The judge to have bundled into his marker though. And yeah, in answer to your question, Derek, I think Robbie Leach will just slot in as a left winger as Callum Morrison tries to take it down, and then, well, Lang almost putting that one into his own net, the deflection. David Mitchell again, the man, safe pair of hands. Falkirk on the attack. Leach, first involvement for him. Goes round the outside, beats his man, gets to the byline. Cutbacks there, right across goal. he's saying he felt it was the jersey was tugged, but stayed on his feet. Morrison to Nielsen. Oh, good play from Nielsen. Breaks in field. Goes past a second man. Onto his weaker left foot though. Dixon now tries to chip it forward, but nobody in that vicinity for the Bairns. Keena does well to knock it to Morrison. 2 red jerseys ahead of him though. Chance to get the head up. Good delivery, but just behind Salmon. Chance for Keena to finish, and does. The ball falls kindly for Aidan Keena, and the returning striker makes no mistake. Extends the lead for the Bairns. Callum Morrison afforded time and space on the right wing. Well, Aidan Keena taking the plaudits. David Mitchell absolutely helpless in the Clyde goal. All about that initial touch from midfield. Callum Morrison sent into space. Ball through to Goodwillie, but again he's gone too early. Yeah, Goodwillie always dangerous, but the flag had gone up. I think he knew that himself, but just wanted to have a pop at goal as it falls to Telfer. Opens up nicely. David Mitchell just watches, covers. Morrison flights in, good header from Leach, blocked, falls to Keena, back to goal though, 2 men on him, falls to Telfer, another good block, and a third block. Well, Falkirk trying to get that killer third. The third block was actually Aidan Keena who blocked the shot from Nielsen. Good header by Lang. Alston tries the up and under. Monroe, a poor defensive header by Monroe. Keena, can he capitalise? Well, finds Robbie Leach. Chance, little nutmeg, and then Monroe takes an arm of the jersey. Referee waves play on. Although Keena's been on the score sheet, I think Salmon's done well as the shot comes in, and Mitchell again has to palm that one wide. I think he had that one covered all the way, to his credit. Oh, good play by Keena. Little nutmeg, creates a chance himself. Chance to kill it, and does. Well, that looked like it crossed the line initially, but we'll wait to see on the replay. Looking at that again. Nope, on the line and out. Good decision. Falkirk, of course, still down to 10 men. Can Clyde take advantage of this extra man for the time being? Howie through to Lamont. Finds Jack, opens up. Jack has a pop and finds the back of the net from nothing. Clyde given a lifeline. 83 minutes on the clock. Josh Jack, nobody closing him down. Well, the frustrated shouts from the defence. Mark Durnan screaming at his midfield, saying he wanted someone to go and close that shot down. Alston forces him back 10, 15, 20 yards. Good play by Alston, forcing Clyde back up the field. Salmon just holds on. Falkirk pick the pocket. Morrison now drives down the channel, the ball in field to Francis, and a good defensive interception by Tom Lang. Again, that's where Salmon has made the way to. A good tussle between him and Lang. The latter gets the head on it. Gary Miller battles away, wins possession in the midfield. Chips over the top for Connor Salmon. Breaks into the box. Chance to kill the game. Oh, great save by Mitchell. The loose ball still there though. McNiff clears partially. Morrison can't get it under control. And then Morrison adjudged to have gone across the body of Howie. Allows Lamont to flight it in. Leach with the header, but it goes goalward. And then, well, that was the chance. Can they snatch a point? Drama at the death at the Falkirk Stadium. First header won by Howie, second by Alston. Falkirk can't clear the danger. It's Mark Durnan of all people out there chasing. Falls to Love. The shot, good save by Much. And then Connor Salmon, the man with the clearance. Morrison needs to run this, needs to keep the head, take it to the corner. Does enough to take the pressure off. Connor Salmon saw the danger, the first man to it, preventing the rebound as well. Well, Much and Salmon stepping up for the Bairns. And there is the full-time whistle. Well, Robbie Much lets out the big cheer of celebration, a big moment for him, deep into injury time. Both goalkeepers being called into action, and a dramatic end to the game at the Falkirk Stadium, where the full-time score here at the Falkirk Stadium is Falkirk 2, Clyde 1.
Finally, on the programme this week, we speak to a Wheel Kent face around the Falkirk Stadium, particularly around the South Stand. And if you go on the Elliott supporters bus week in, week out, he's a man that's not scared to say the truth, he's not scared to speak his mind, and he's with us this afternoon. Brian Stewart, welcome to Falkirk TV. How are you, first of all?
I'm fine, Dave, thanks. I'm improving slowly, but I'm getting there, thank you.
Yeah, of course, you've had a wee health scare, and it's you've had some good support as well. I've seen from the fans forums and stuff, people wishing you back to health, and I believe you were back at your first game on Saturday.
Well, that's not quite true, but my first away game, and the sad thing about this, people are probably devastated I can actually talk again now, because a lot of people didn't like me talking sometimes, but, you know, it is what it is.
Well, I've got to say, the times I've been in fans forums hosting these, and you put your hand up, it always get filled with dread just in case, you know, but it's always good to see you, and of course good to see you back to your old self again. But how have you been enjoying coming back to the games again? Obviously last season watching the matches on Falkirk TV.
Oh, I think everybody realises Falkirk's really important to the majority of people in the Falkirk area, and to get back and seeing the gods again is fantastic stuff. I think the last year, 2 years has been awful for everybody, but to get back to see some real action again is good, yeah.
And of course, speaking about being awful for the last couple of years, not just off the park with COVID, but it's not been great on the park either, and you're obviously one of the most vocal about that amongst the Falkirk support, and rightly so. So how do you think this squad this season so far, early days obviously, is compared to what we've seen the past couple of seasons?
Me personally, I've never met Paul Sheeran personally, but the players and standard that we've got this year is quite impressive compared to what we've had in the last two. So I think we're doing in the right direction, and hopefully the fans will come back on board again. I think they slowly are.
Yeah, there seems to be a good vibe around about the stadium once again, and obviously when you see Paul Sheeran on Saturday, you know, on the park after the Airdrie game, and you know, giving the fists up to the Falkirk fans, it gives you a bit of belief in the fact that his heart's in it here.
Well, I think so, because if his heart's not in it, he wouldn't get paid. But he's here to do a job, and at the moment I think he's doing a really good job. Danny Granger as well, and most of the players now seem to have an idea and a setting what they're doing now, which is a big start for us all, I think, because the last 2 years don't think we had much of a clue really.
So what do you think about some of the new signings? And obviously Paul's been quite vocal about the fact that he wants to bring some younger blood back into the club in a sort of avenue to re-establish in the academy as well. So what have you thought of some of the young players you've seen so far?
Well, I think we're really pleased, because I think there's people like the young lad Mackenzie Lemon at the back, and you've got Aidan Nesbitt, which is an absolute steal for me. You've got Callum Morrison up front, and Aidan Keena, to me, hopefully goes on a goal scoring run that he really badly needs. So do we.
It looks like obviously he's getting the bit between his teeth now, and we actually spoke to Callum Morrison in the office last week, and he was getting himself all down about the fact he wasn't scoring enough, so he's desperate to get that goal tally up. So you've got to say it is promising.
Yeah, but look, everybody has a goal scoring drought, and strikers are no hard to come by at the moment, but we're going in the right direction, and it's almost not words, and I'm sure I speak for everybody else. I think we're doing okay at the moment. It's probably Falkirk's best start for a good few years now, I think. So we've got 7 points, and hopefully maybe 10 on Saturday.
So obviously we've been down here for a couple of seasons now. We're desperate to get back up into the Championship this year. The big question is, do you think we can do it?
I think I'm in every game, because that's me. And the way I've been playing so far, I think we've been really well, and I think it's owned up to us to do the business, and don't worry about anybody else, to be fair.
Well, it's a good way to think about it. Brian, I wish you all the best in your recovery, obviously, and hope to see you back in the South Stand, shouting the odds like you always do every other week and getting right behind the boys. Well,
the sad thing is, I was in hospital, actually found I had a brain, so I think it's maybe been a mistake by the doctor. But yeah, thanks very much, and onwards and upwards for the Bairns.
Thanks very much, Brian. As we're about to head to kick off this afternoon, it's Falkirk versus Clyde in Cinch League 1. And as I always say, let's make some noise for the Falkirk Bairns. Bye for now.